now I've got it to there. I don't know what to do with it. I'm gonna need some help. Is what I'm gonna need, I think. It's a beautiful day in Havasu. Actually, it's been raining. Kind of cool. Lake's filling up. It's time to get this motor unloaded. So let's just get into it. I just looked up at the top of Crossman's Peak and we have snow. We have snow, boys.
Yeah.
Got Brad here, Makay, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. We're kind of freezing. It's kind of chilly.
Wind's blowing.
Cloudy. They're threatening more rain, more snow. Did it snow at your house, Brad?
It didn't. The mountains are full of it, though.
Yeah, the mountains
McKay,
are all
though, he
white.
just came back from cold weather thinking it was going to be warm.
I know, right? It's probably still colder in Ohio, just saying.
I'm pretty sure.
So we're gonna start working on the old Radial engine today. Makay is gonna strip all these tins off here, and we're gonna kind of maybe pull some inspection plates and kind of evaluate the motor and see what we're gonna have to do to make this thing run. But we're getting it ready to mount on a trailer, so we'll move this thing in the shop and get going on it. Protesting.
She's happy inside where the wind's not blowing.
McKay's over here tearing and grinding on this big old motor. He's got some tins coming off. He wants to make a cylinder comparison. This is a Volkswagen compared to that thing. So you got that and you got that. This would probably go up inside, up and down in the cylinder, McKay.
You could probably put that in the cylinder.
Yeah, that's huge. Huge. Well, it's got to be big to make 1,820 cubic inches. Just saying. Okay, there is a mounting pile going on here. I'm just going to show you. McKay is like down underneath of this thing, just wrapped in and around it. Cylinders look really good. Sure opens that up, taking those off. I love it. So McKay's managed to pull all the intakes off without creating too much rupture. So we're going to take these and have them polished. They're aluminum. They'll look really cool polished. But yeah, we're about ready to build a block-off plate for the governor, prop governor, and then we'll steam clean it and acid wash it. I think I'm going to polish these valve covers. Maybe even this manifold. It's going to look good. Then we'll get it mounted on the trailer. Well, today's the day. I've got the Radial in the shop. Got the trailer set up here on standby. We're going to try to get this thing lifted up. I was going to use the hoist, maybe hang it from 2 points, and then get the trailer under it and kind of position it how I want it, and then start building the mount. Pretty simple. I can tab off of here. I think I can mount it solid. I don't think I need to rubber mount it or anything crazy, so We're going to use one of these points to put a hook in, and then we'll wrap around the crankshaft, see if we can get it hanging up right here, and then get the trailer under it. So let's get started. Well, now I've got it to there, I don't know what to do with it. I'm going to need some help. Is what I'm going to need, I think. I need to set it down on maybe those two cylinders very gently. Rock it a little back this way. Need to lengthen my rear chains, but I'm afraid if I get it balanced up there, it's going to fall and I'm not going to be able to hold it. So I'm going to wait for some help. We'll get this finished. Now all we got to do is get the trailer underneath that engine before it falls. Well, it's kind of there. This hitch is completely covered in never sees. Every time I grab it, I turn into the Tin Man. I have to clean that stuff out of there. Anyway, we're going to cut this piece of angle iron out of here so that'll settle down in between. Get the cylinders down a little lower. I don't want it up this high. I'm going to bring it down just a little bit. But that's it. That's the beginning of our radial display engine. Of course, I think I'm going to roll the trailer back just a little. That way the propeller's right up in this region. There'll be a toolbox up here. There'll be probably a fuel tank up there. There'll probably be an oil tank back in here somewhere. And she's just dripping the oil out. This thing hasn't stopped dripping oil since I got it. It's dripped oil on its side, dripped oil on its back, dripped oil stood up. I'm assuming that's just the way these things are. They just drip oil continuously. Well, let's get going on mounting. Alrighty, I've come up with a plan. I've cut one bracket. It's a little hot from me bending it. I got another one cut here and bolted, but what I did was I heated it up and I bent it just a little bit. I'm gonna come out of there with a pipe and attach right here. That'll be the lower mount. So the upper mount I still haven't figured out yet, but we'll get on that shortly. So let's get them lower mounts tacked and welded and adjusted and bolted up. fire on the floor, which no harm, just an oily rag. We got the two lowers in. I like them, they look good. So now we're going to figure out this upper apparatus. I think I'm going to brace it clear back into this corner. That'll give me some big triangulation, keep this thing from rocking, be fairly stable on this trailer. And then I'll probably put some mesh back here so you can stand on the mesh, because this is the business side of the engine where the carburetor and the ignitions and all the chaos is going on. So oil tank will probably mount in this region. Fuel tank will be up front. I'll put the fuel tank up front, that way I don't got to deal with it. It'll pump fuel back to the carburetor. Should work pretty good. Alrighty, so we're still working on the radial engine. I gotta get a light. I'm gonna show you guys this. So I've pulled all the spark plugs out. Well, not all of them. I've pulled spark plug out of every cylinder. All the spark plugs would be both sides. So out of one mag, but I'm looking down in here, the supercharger looks to be in perfect condition. There was a little bit of water came out the bottom of it, but I think that was ever so recent. It's been dripping oil out of here most of the day. Still got a lot of oil on that. Oil's been running out of those two cylinders most of the day. That cup's full. But I've made myself a little barring tool out of a piece of driveline tubing, and I have all the spark plugs out, so don't worry, there's no chance of it starting or firing. But I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can get the motor to turn over, bar it through a cycle or two. Oh boy, that's not good. Stop turning. Oh, there we go. So I think normally it turns this direction. Well, I believe it went through all the way 2 cycles. Whew, that's a workout, guys. Turn that thing over. We got oil dripping off most of the spark plugs. There was one here. This one had a little tiny bit of sign of moisture. I couldn't really see anything in the cylinder, but there's still a chance that it got in there just a little bit, but I think it'll be okay. I think it'll run. So we'll probably clean up some of them other spark plugs that Port gave me from his grandpa's collection, and then we're going to work on this intake and get it back on, and then we'll move forward to putting a starter on and hooking up oil lines, and actually turn it over some more with the starter and see if we can build oil pressure. And then we'll move on to the starting stages from there.